Alright, back to the pencil. Pole's going. We'll see what happens with it. Okay. Gotta fill this in. Hello, hello. This thing just started. Oop, I already messed that up. Went way outside where my natural eyebrow is. Okay, let's take care of that. There we go, better. Blend this part. We don't want that too dark. Okay, they skedaddled. There we go. There's that. Let's see. Okay, this is the All Hours YSL foundation with SPF 30. It's my nicest makeup that I have. It's the only thing I splurged on, and I bought it a while ago, so we using it, we enjoying it. Okay, blend her. My skin is too mature now to not use a blender. I know some people use their fingers, but I think that's kind of gross. What's up, pretty little pickle? I like your username. Hey Grace, how's it going? Oh cool, somebody already said yes on the poll. I put that up there because that is what this page is, just so nobody's confused, because they'll come on here and be like, oh, are you a makeup artist? I'm not. I'm a comedian podcaster trying to get more eyes on the pod, which I post every Monday and Thursday, and I definitely get the most views and the most exposure here on YouTube, so that's why it's important for me to promote it on here. Thanks, Adventures with Skylar. Hi. Joe can yell, jump, fart all at the same time. So talented. Thanks, Lane Lucas. I think makeup is not necessarily a tool for insecurity. It's just fun to like do it sometimes. I also have to make some, thanks Adventures with Skylar. I have to make some video content, so I'm just trying to get my makeup done because it's for a job and I want it to come off that I worked hard on the video, because right now she's underemployed and she's got to do these like UGC videos. Sorry, I know it's a little douchey to talk about myself in the third person. Okay. I think I've blended this out enough. I'm going to use a teeny tiny filter on the UGC video too. I'm probably going to film it inside TikTok where it has like a nice, really subtle filter, kind of like the one I have on this. So that way it won't be too messed up. Hi, Aya, what's up? How's it going? Okay, we're going to go in next with my Tarte Double Duty Beauty Tape. This is the only concealer that I buy over and over again. I really like the consistency. It lasts a while. It's worth the money. And I make it last even longer by taking one of these little fluffy brushes and just grabbing the teeny tiniest bit of it. And I think this is also because I'm 37 and my skin is just like not as plump as it used to be. So I need to make sure that I'm not putting too much makeup in the under eye, because it will look like ass. It will get all crepey and get, it's better to build it. Hi, hello. What's your question? I don't know what your question is. I missed your question. What is it? Let me see if I can find it. I don't see a question in here. Hi, everybody. Hi, Sophia. Hi, Coastline Hour. All right. We'll go. I can put a little more. I can go a little heavier right here on the outer parts, but still brushing it out and spreading it. It's a little dry right there. I might pat it with my finger because the warmth apparently helps blend it in a little bit better. Do I support LGBTQ? Sure. I don't identify with that, but to each their own. I think everybody should mind their own business about other people's sexuality and identity, as long as you're not doing anything illegal and you're not harming anyone. Be you. You do you. That's my stance on that. I know there's a lot of people that are part of that community in my audience, so yeah, that's my answer for that. Am I still single? I don't know if I'm like technically single. I'm dating someone. I don't really like to talk about my personal life too much on here though. Oh, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Okay, I definitely need to blend it with my finger. I put a little too much on, like right here. Alrighty. Hi, Richard. How are you? How's it going? Let me blend this out before I seal it with setting powder. I'm getting really close to the camera because I've got my makeup mirror set up. Like I've got the phone set up on the makeup mirror. So if you're like, damn, why is this biddy getting so close to the camera? It's because of that. It's because I've got like a fancy mirror with the lights behind me. And that's what I gotta do. I should have also covered this pimple on my nose. I do have pets. I have a dog named Monty. He is a Pomeranian, and he is like the basically the co-host of my podcast. So if you go and watch any of those full episodes of the pod, if there's anything that sparks your interest on there, I have a lot of episodes with comedians, therapists, all kinds of guests really, and Monty is always on the couch with me. All right, my setting powder is Laura Mercier, another one of my slightly more expensive products, one of very few. Almost everything else you'll see is like Elf or NYX or some cheap shit because I don't have it in my budget to spend a lot on makeup. Speaking of that, I will never come on here and beg you guys for money. I definitely don't want to do that, but if you so choose, if you want, if you're feeling generous, or if you want to sign up for a membership, I have those available, or tipping is always appreciated. Not required, but appreciated, you know. Some of you are well off, and some of you can't, and I understand that, so. All right. Stand-up doesn't translate into podcast format. Nobody's trying to do stand-up on the podcasts. They're just conversations with comedians a lot of times. You have a 120-pound dog named Nugget. Oh my gosh, I love pitties. And I had a roommate with a boxer in college, so I know what it's like to live with a boxer too. They're cool dogs. You're only 11. Oh, wow. Then I don't know if this is appropriate for you. I don't know if the pod is appropriate for you. It's a lot of more PG-13 content on there. So that's a little concerning. I don't know if I would let an 11-year-old go on random YouTube lives, but I'll try. I don't say anything too terrible on here, I guess, but I don't know if the podcast or the stand-up is for you. I tend to find people in that age group don't like stand-up because it's not relatable to you. Where am I from? Ukraine originally. I'm not going to make it clap unless you send me money. I don't do requests for free. Anyways. You watch 20 plus TV shows that, well, you know, that live your life. You're not my kid, so I can't control what you do. Okay, all right, I'm gonna do a little bit of contouring on my nose. I do love concerts. Thanks, football. Yeah, I agree, Charlie. Anyone asking me to make it clap, it's a little pervy. This isn't an OnlyFans, and if it was, you'd have to be paying me. So, we don't do requests for free around here. She ripped your shirt? That stinks. How do I prefer men to approach me? I prefer they don't. No, I think that an acceptable way for a man to approach is to kind of wait for at least a little bit of a signal of consent from a woman, at least wait for her to maybe smile, like try to make eye contact, see if she reciprocates, if she holds your eye contact or if she smiles at you, and start with a like very benign conversation starter. Like if you're at a coffee shop, make a comment about the coffee, like, go in not immediately with sexual interest. That is my advice on approaching a woman, because you gotta get a read on it first so you don't jump the gun and ask her out if she's clearly not interested in speaking to you, but shoot your shot once you think there's some kind of an open invite. All right, let's see. What did I miss here? Most comedians base their career on a strict set. No, I disagree with you, Dan. And as a comedian who's been doing it for 12 years, I think I know what I'm talking about. Okay, we're gonna ignore the retarded people making bad comments on here. Okay. A lot of retardation going on in the comments, so I'm just gonna go ahead and ignore all of that. Who's my favorite artist? Sleep Token. Love from London. I love London. What's up, Joe? You're retarded. Get out of here if you don't like me. I have a tiny nose. You're literally just trying to be a dick when you could just scroll to something you like instead of sticking around to something you hate. That like tells me a lot about your life choices. Anyways, your mom didn't have a problem with it, Joe. Okay, we got a lot of retardation in here, so we're just gonna ignore it and keep doing my makeup. And if I know, I'm not saying everyone is. You know who you are. If you're leaving shitty comments on here, here's the way that I think of it when people come in here and they leave shitty comments. I'm always like, how sad and pathetic is your life that instead of spending our limited time here on earth finding something that entertains you, that you vibe with, that you like, you spew negativity, which always comes back to you because karma is real. And it just says so much. It's like sad people want other people to be sad, so they come in and they bring their shitty energy with them. It is what it is. Yes, they have no life, hence why they troll. You are absolutely right, Alf. Okay. No, I don't mean Joe Rogan as I mean myself, because that's what this channel is, and sometimes people come here and they're like, I don't know what this is, and I don't want anyone to subscribe if they're not interested, because I would love for the content to resonate with you and be of value to you, and if it's not, like, that's no big deal, live your life, but I'm just trying to give people a heads up about what this channel is. All right, we're doing a little bit of highlighter. It's a MAC highlighter. Ukraine needs me. Okay. I don't know what Millwall is. All right. I did not miss any comments of value, I don't think so. Somebody wants to be the moderator. I don't think it's that bad yet, but I appreciate your offer. I think it's fine. I agree, football forever. It happens on every live stream, and it's upsetting because it makes me not want to do these live streams, but a lot of times I do find cool people, so it's kind of like going to a clearance rack. Like, you have to sift through the garbage to find something nice. Okay. What's up, what's up? Yeah, I don't know what Millwall is. Okay. Here we go. All right. You're watching Liverpool and England. Cool, cool, cool. Would I be against men approaching women when they are at work? Most of the time. Okay. That's really enough. Listen, if you can't figure out on your own how to not be a sad sack of shit, I'm gonna mute you. That's that. That is that. I have no qualms with muting sad losers who decide to stay in here even though they don't like it, because we have affordable therapy for you. It's not, you're not being cool. I don't need a moderator right now, but thank you guys. I appreciate it. If it starts getting hectic, I will take you up on that, but I think for now it's totally fine. And if they're gonna roast, I'll just roast back. But there's nothing more pathetic than people coming in and trolling, truly. Like, it's sad, low-level vibration bullshit. They can do it. I'm not their mom. I'm not their therapist. They can definitely do that if they want to do that. But they don't understand how fucking sad it makes them look. Yeah, they do. You're right. Okie dokie. What are my lives about? I'm just trying to plug the podcast here, so not really a whole heck of a lot of anything. I actually did study business management in college. That's what I got my degree in. I don't know. I didn't know tourism was something that you could study. I feel good about lip filler. If people want to do lip filler, they can. Live your life. Tell us about your podcast. Yes, would love to. So I am a comedian. My podcast has a lot of stand-up comics on it. If you are a stand-up comedy fan, I promise you I've had comedians that you like on there. I've been really, really lucky with who I've been able to get. I've had some huge, huge comedians do the show. And it's also about like mental health and relationships. I do a lot of episodes about spirituality. I do a lot of episodes with dating coaches and like licensed marriage therapists. So there's a lot of healthcare stuff. There's a lot of like neuroscience episodes. So if any of that resonates with you, there's probably episodes you would like. If not, it's okay. This is scrolling really, really fast, so I'm sorry I cannot keep up with a lot of this. Who's a big name you have met? I mean, I have met all sorts of huge people. As far as huge people I've had on the show, I just had Kurt Metzger not too long ago. I've had Morgan Jay. I've had Chappelle Lacey, Jeremiah Watkins. I've had a lot of like really big comedians. Okie dokie. Let's see. What did I miss? Thank you for the nail compliment. No, I'm not going to have anyone on the podcast from the YouTube live. I don't know you guys. So, sorry. Maybe not the answer you want, but the answer you're going to get. Because unless you're like an expert in something and you submit for the show and it aligns, because I gotta do what the audience who returns and likes the show, what they like, which isn't usually, I know sometimes people find these lives very randomly and the channel ends up not being for them, and that's totally fine. So do with that information what you will. I do hope to get back on Kill Tony. I did the sign up again on Monday for the first time since my appearance, which was like technically a month ago, even though the episode premiered pretty recently. And yeah, I would like to do it again. It would be fun. I got put on Secret Show that week and then again a couple weeks later because Red Band just reached out to me and put me on the show. I had done it a few times before I got on KT. So yes, I will do it again. Okie dokie. Let's see how much. I don't charge guests for the podcast. Get Sam Tripoli on. He, I don't know him personally. I've only met him a few times. It'd be cool to get him on, but he does not live here. My last show was at Cap City last night. My next show is, I would have to look, but I have shows this weekend. I think Velveeta Room, maybe? Thanks, Creek. They are my nails. They're dip. Okay, I think I'm going to do some eyeliner before I do these videos. Ooh, NB, that is really complicated. I have no idea what you're talking about with that. Not my, You can see my podcast on this channel. But that's why I do these lives. What's my political views? I believe that if you think most politicians are looking out for you, you have been duped. I am pretty moderate / independent. I believe that there shouldn't be money in politics. I believe we could find a way to make certain things socialist, like healthcare and education. I believe we are ruled by an elite class of billionaires and that political parties are a sham to keep us fighting and ignoring the real issues. If that answers that question, I can answer more specific questions if you have them. Thank you, Little Penny. I really appreciate that. Oh, I don't know who Danny Daniels is. Matt McCusker would be hard to get. I don't actually know him personally, but I do believe he lives in Austin, so maybe if someone introduced me. Hi, Shamalin. Let's see. Do I think the world would be better without religion and nationality? No, because for some people it means a lot and it doesn't have to be a thing that has to create divergence and friction. I believe that people can embrace each other's cultures and their own cultures in a way that adds to the collective as opposed to taking away from it. I think people have bigger problems like ego and narcissism and shit over just religion and nationality. I don't think nationality is a problem. I think culture should be embraced. You don't believe we should donate to billionaires? Yeah, no shit. Of course we shouldn't. What am I getting ready for? I'm getting ready for, I have to retape a UGC video because I'm underemployed right now and I have to do these fucking UGC ads to pay my bills. That being said, tips are very highly appreciated, but you don't have to. But I spend a lot of money putting the podcast out, so there are memberships and things. So if you wanted to support the channel, you can. That is what I'm getting ready for, doing the UGC tape. Politics are evil. Yes, yes, yes. Do I support Russia or Ukraine? I'm from Ukraine, so do the math on that. No, I'm not aware with how corrupt the Philippines are. No, I don't know Stray Kids. No, you did not donate $60. Oh, I would never want to be a politician. Yeah, we do have to slave to survive. That does fucking suck. There are a lot of opportunities in America, but it's really, really hard to get on your feet, but it is still easier than a lot of other nations. So I'm not like a America sucks person. I think because I'm from Ukraine, I understand the realities of living somewhere like that, and my family did come from insane poverty, so I'm not like totally anti-capitalist, but I do think that too much capitalism leads to feudalism, which is kind of feels like where we're headed. Okie dokie. We're in the Matrix and it's all fake. God, I hope so. Oh, you have dark features like me. What softer shadow are you using? I'll show you. I like to use, I think with brown eyes, it's good to use more of like a purplish shade. So it's this one right here. If you can see that, that's what I used. It's kind of like a brown plumish color. And I do brown eyeliner as well so that it doesn't look like I'm doing stage makeup in the middle of the fucking day. Because where I am, it's 1:30 right now. So, and I also, for that reason, like to do like a brown mascara instead of a black mascara. Do I shoot the podcast in my house? Yes, I do. Except sometimes very rarely, but once in a while, I shoot at a podcast studio. Aw, thanks, Anani Mouse. I appreciate that. I'm not the brightest, but you know, I can imagine what is going on in other lives and that this is probably relatively difficult. Benjamin, I just did a podcast with Kurt Metzger that just came out like 2 weeks ago, and he has a podcast with Duncan Trussell. I've met Duncan, but it was once and it was a couple years ago. If I got back in with him, maybe, I wonder, I don't know how he is about like doing smaller comedians podcasts because he's very busy and he has a family, whereas like I'm kind of more like I'm friends with Kurt, so it was easier to get him on. Christina P. also I've never met, but I would love to have her if she would do it. I hate to set a limiting belief on myself, but I think that would be really, really hard to book. What part of Ukraine am I from, Raphael? I'm from Odessa. I was born there and I lived there the first 5 years. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're not concerned with human rights, that's freaking scary, because it's like if something terrible and undignified is happening to a different person, who's to say it can't happen to you? That's kind of what I think. I think it's like you have to appreciate that we're all, not all, but the majority of us are just like a couple bad weeks away from like absolute fucking hell, poverty hell. Would I rather date an elef mill or screwma? I don't know what those words mean. Are you on Spotify? I am on Spotify. Yes, it's Galina Rivina Podcastina. No, I'm not inviting Erica Kirk to my pod. I think she's a Mossad agent. You're from Ukraine too? Fuck yeah. Went to Argentina. What's up, what's up? That's cool. Who is someone you refuse to have as a guest? Well, somebody suggested Erica Kirk up here, so I would refuse to have her. Not that we're on the same playing field as far as like recognition level, obviously. But I would not have her on. Set up a meeting with Russia and invite them to your pod. Yeah, that's realistic. Oh, thanks, Benjamin. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for listening to the Kurt episode. That's awesome. Am I Kurdish? No. Hi, crybaby. Am I Indian? Do I look Indian, bro? Okie dokes. I won't know the struggle. Sure. Okay. I agree, Christopher. I think she was sent. What's my take on Charlie? Really didn't agree with him. I respect the hustle. He clearly was so intelligent about rage baiting his way into fame. I don't agree with that strategy. I think that that's bad karma. You know? Is it real? Is karma real? But yeah, that's my take on him. Okie dokes. There's some weird, I'm gonna ignore the weird comments and do my mascara. Yeah, agreed, Sob, agreed. But it's like kind of revolutionary to give credit where credit due. Knowing how to rage bait like that and doing it so well that he got to where he got to is impressive, but those kinds of, like, I don't ethically agree with that, so that's just not something that I would do. Except it wasn't factual information. He got a lot of things wrong, as a lot of people do. If you're either really conservative or really liberal, I think you're stupid. I think you guys are two sides of the same horseshoe. And if you think any politician is looking out for you, I have really bad news for you. They do not care about you at all. At all. And they're all hanging out together, by the way, in the government. Okie dokes, let's get this idiot out of here. Goodbye. Christina Mariani would be a fun guest. I've only met her once. I'm not close with her. I usually wear my hair straight. Thanks, Raphael. I like you too. What's up? Do I have any comedy videos on YouTube? Yeah, I have sets. I have some set videos. I have whole playlists. Thank you. God loves you. Appreciate it. Big Mike. Who's Big Mike? Is that like a podcast person that I might not be familiar with? Okay, I think my mascara is done. All right. I fudged it just a tiny bit, but I think it's good enough for this UGC video. Damn, we got like 50% of people not liking stand-up and podcast creators. Hopefully none of you stayed in here because this won't be of any interest to you in that case. Am I working on new jokes now? I am. All right. Under what titles are the videos? Elaine, if you go to the channel, there's a playlist that says stand-up clips and videos, and that's where those live. Can't miss them if you go looking for them on my page. Always trying to work on new stuff. What are my thoughts about Shane Gillis? I think he's hilarious. I think he's the Taylor Swift of comedy. I mean, his ticket sales prove that. So I can't say I'm like an avid watcher of his stand-up, but I really like the show Tires. I think he's super funny in it. And what I've seen of him, I'm like, okay, I get it. All right, I smudged this a little. I smudged my mascara. I need to go in and fix it. I'm just gonna take a brush and do this. Okay. And just blend it out. All right, good enough. Best TV show. Game of Thrones, maybe. Okay, let's see. What am I missing? What did I miss? What did I miss? Sorry, so many comments coming in. Holy shit. Okay. Do I smoke? Yeah. Thanks, Creek. Appreciate that. Hopefully there's something on there that you like. Did I ever date any of my guests? No, I didn't date any of my guests. Are you watching House of Dragon? I'm not. I don't currently have an HBO subscription, you guys. I am brokety broke. So please send tips and supers and shit if you can, because I would love to watch House of Dragon. But I had to like cut some stuff, and HBO was one of the cuts I made. I used to have somebody's membership and then they got rid of it. So I am without. All right. Have I ever dated a Mexican? That's a good question. I've probably gone out on a date with a Mexican, but I don't think I've ended up in a relationship with one. The Wire. I know, it would be so hard to catch up on The Wire now, though. I've actually asked Benjamin, I've asked Yang to do the pod, but she said she wasn't doing podcasts right now, which I think is just like a polite way to turn me down. Because then I saw she did go on a podcast. I'm not married. I don't own a mansion. I'm in an apartment. Free streaming. I don't want to fuck with all of that. Okay. Christopher, I'm not that tech savvy. I'm just not. Okay. I think I need to film these UGC videos. So those of you who came in here, thanks for hanging out. Anyway, if you like podcasts, comedy. If you're new here, if there's anything on there that appeals to you, go ahead and subscribe. But if there's not, don't worry about it, because I don't want anyone subscribing and then going to the channel and being like, ugh, this isn't for me, and then unsubscribing. So do what you gotta do. And yeah, thanks for tuning into this. I think that's all I'm going to do. I think I need to go do my, oh, thank you for that, Minji. I need to go do my UGC video because I got some bills to pay. So appreciate you being in here, and see you next time. I'll be back. Bye.